Well, as you're traveling across the Great Lakes state, all throughout the fall and all around the year. There's so much to do, so many different activities, such a versatile state that we live in with all four seasons to experience as well. So that brings up the question, what am I to do in this place versus that place? If I want to go find some great food in Michigan, great activities in Michigan, there's so much to think about. And that's why we bring in people like Otie McKinley from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation and Pure Michigan, their media and communications manager on the Megacast. Otie, thanks for being with us again.
Hello, Tyler. How you doing, man?
Doing all right today. How are you doing, Otie?
I am great. Just loving this fall weather and the beautiful colors that are surrounding us, man. It's crazy. It's great.
This is it's been quite ideal weather the last few days. To go outside, not today, it's a little different start today with the rain and the clouds, but hey, it's the fall. That's going to happen. But the last few days, been nice in the 60s and the 70s, nice little breeze, no humidity. If we got that 365 days a year, that's what I call a utopia.
I'm on board. I'm with you, man.
Yeah, someday we'll have to negotiate that with Mother Nature. In the meantime, let's talk about travel in the state of Michigan because there's so much to do in our state on so many different levels. You are one of the experts on this. You and our friends at Pure Michigan know so much about everything that you can do right here in the state of Michigan. Let's just go down the list. Let's start off. Everyone, this time of year, you're thinking about the holidays. You're thinking about getting warm and cozy in the home and enjoying a nice meal. But when you're out and about in the state of Michigan, you're also thinking about exploring some of the great eateries in all of our different regions of Michigan. What are some of your favorites across the Great Lakes state, Otie?
Oh man, there's so many, but my wife and I really enjoy spending time up in the Indian River area and during the summer. And there's this great little breakfast place called Cafe Noka, which is in Topinabee. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, Topinabee, just outside of Indian River on Mullet Lake. And it's a tiny little place. It's a no frills restaurant, but it is some of the best breakfast foods around. Although on the other end of the scale, in the area of Sheboygan, which isn't too far from that Indian River area, is a great fine dining restaurant on the Sheboygan River called Hack Matak. It is just authentic Northern Michigan atmosphere. But the food is incredible. The wait staff is incredible. Strong recommendation for Hack Matak. But also, if you're kind of in the area, don't turn down. There's a great little place. A husband and wife own this conglomeration of businesses in downtown Sheboygan. There is the Queen's Head Wine Pub, which is a great place to grab a glass of wine and maybe a charcuterie board. But connected to that is kind of a neat little place called Stormy's Cap and Ale. And so it is a brick and mortar Stormy Cromer shop, but they have some local Sheboygan Brewing Company beers on tap. So you can grab a beer and shop some of Stormy Cromer's finest apparel options. So that area, I'm biased to that area, but there are just so many great places to enjoy some great foods and cocktails.
Yeah, and you mentioned some of the Michigan beer that's available there in that location in Sheboygan. You got great breweries all across the state of Michigan that are continuing to rise up. And of course, we got Grand Rapids, which is Beer City, USA as well. What are some of your favorite beers from Michigan or places to grab a beer and try something different from creators right here in Michigan?
Cool. Again, lots of options there, but I think first and foremost, I'm a Bell's fan through and through. From Oberon in the summer to Two Hearted when the temps are a little cooler. I'm a big fan of Bell's. But Perrin in Grand Rapids, they've got a 5910 IPA. It's a great option. On the northwest side of the state, there's a great beer garden called Hop Lot. Some fantastic brews, but just a great garden in the back with fires and just live music. It's great. But then up in Marquette, you've got two fantastic breweries, Black Rocks and Ore Docks. So the options are across the board. No matter where you are in the state, you are not far from a great brewery. That is for sure.
Yeah, great food and great drink all across the state of Michigan. And it gets to the point too where you try so much and you're having so much fun, you're enjoying all this food and drink that you get a little bit too full, you get a little bit bloated from all that drinking, and you think to yourself, you know what, I need to go take and get some exercise and go hiking in Michigan. Plenty of great places for that as well, and wonderful trails all across the Great Lakes state. What are some of your favorite locations for those that enjoy hiking or want to explore some of Michigan nature on foot?
Michigan is the trail state. And that is certainly hiking, but also biking, paddling, just a wealth of opportunity. Um, when a favorite hike of mine is, everyone knows the Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore, typically seen from kayak or boat. But the hiking along the rim of the National Lakeshore is incredible. It's a completely different experience. Um, a different way to experience the Pictured Rocks. Um, just it's incredible. Multiple different levels of hiking opportunities. So nice, easy, flat, stable grounds, or there's some more aggressive hiking trails available. But another place, a little more uh, conservative, northern Michigan, lower peninsula of northern Michigan, is the Lewis M. Groen Nature Preserve. It's just east of Gaylord in Johannesburg. Some great hiking options, nothing too aggressive, but you're walking through just the natural forest. Um, Gorgeous hikes, and they're also open in the winter. So snowshoeing or cross country skiing are options in the wintertime.
We're joined by Otie McKinley from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation and Pure Michigan, joining us on today's edition of the Megacast. Of course, you can find more information about all of your Michigan travel needs and different places to explore all across the state in various regions and all across all 4 seasons in Michigan by going to michigan.org. That is michigan.org for more information. We're in the fall, but there's still plenty of beautiful sunsets as we get into the colder months of the year. Still plenty of time to go visit some of those. And of course, it's a great time too to think about some spring and summer plans too. What are some of your favorite places to go in Michigan to see some of those great landscapes and beautiful sunsets that make for a great picture or just a great sight as you're ending your day?
Well, this is the time, right? As
Yeah.
people are out enjoying the fall colors, um, stick around, watch the sunset. It's a beautiful time of year. And I'll tell you, for me, my wife and I are golfers, and I don't know that there's a better place to watch the sunset than in the Adirondack chairs at Arcadia Bluffs. It is absolutely gorgeous. You've got the golf course in front of you, which is a classic Bluffs style, Heather style golf course with Lake Michigan in the background. It is tough to beat. But also, if you're up on Mackinac Island, take a quick bike ride up to the West Bluffs and to watch the sunset from there with the mighty Mac in the background. I mean, come on, that's tough to beat. But again, there's so many great places. Glen Arbor out on the beach there, again by Sleeping Bear. Um, Chateau Chantal on Old Mission Peninsula. There's so many gorgeous places to take in a sunset. I could talk for hours on that.
Yeah, there's so many great places across Michigan to see beautiful landscapes, and just beautiful sights and sounds in nature, and even in city environments too. That you can get great picture opportunities and just great sights that you may not get in other places here in the U.S. and certainly around the world. Really a unique place we have here
No doubt.
in Michigan for sunsets. We're joined by Otie McKinley from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation and Pure Michigan, where he serves as their media and communications manager on today's edition of the Megacast. And Otie, we're approaching the holiday season. Families often getting together at this time of the year wherever they live. But sometimes families will go on a trip around Michigan at the holidays or travel to different places in Michigan. For those that are looking to have a little bit of an adventure when they are going out and about this holiday season with their family, what are some places you suggest that they visit?
Certainly there are any number of amazing places from downtown Detroit to downtown Grand Rapids to northern Michigan. But as we start thinking about travel for the winter, I am a fan of Gaylord through and through. I have spent my life up in Gaylord every winter, almost every weekend, every winter. And I just think that it is an incredible place for winter activities. I grew up at the Otsego Resort. Um, so I am biased to that ski area as well. But from amazing food in the duck line to the skiing, the alpine skiing, but also the trails for snowshoeing and cross country skiing. It's a great resort. It's all inclusive in that once you're there, you don't need to leave. But the community of Gaylord is incredible as well. Downtown Gaylord has some great shopping options, some fantastic restaurants, and it just has it's got a small town vibe, but it's a really neat place. So I'd strongly suggest people spend a little time in Gaylord. I think they'll be surprised with the experience and memories that they walk away with.
And Otie, lastly, no one really wants to think about it just yet. We just got into fall, but it's a good time to start thinking about some winter plans as well. What are some of your favorite winter locations for those that want to get some outdoor experience in the cold and snow? That's really quite different here in the state of Michigan.
Yeah, I always say there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothes.
Yeah.
And so, just because it's winter doesn't mean that you have to be inbound all winter long. Um, again, I'm a big fan of the alpine skiing, snowshoeing, cross country skiing. Gaylord again is one of my favorite destinations in the winter. But there are so many great places. You look into Charlevoix, Petoskey, Harbor Springs. If skiing is your jam, which it is mine. You've got the Highlands of Harbor Springs, formerly Boyne Highlands. You've got Nubbs Knob. But again, tourism and travel doesn't necessarily mean you have to go up north. Downtown Detroit is an incredible weekend experience in the winter with Cadillac Lounge and what they're doing at Campus Martius. There's so many activities for the family, for a group of friends, just you and your partner, whatever that may be. Don't think you have to drive all the way up north to experience a great winter weekend here in Michigan. Grand Rapids, Lansing, Detroit, all great communities to spend a weekend in as you're looking to plan your travels this winter.
You never really have to go too far to get a great experience in all different regions of Michigan and in all different kinds of places too, right here in the Great Lakes State. Otie, thank you so much for joining us.
Tyler, it's always a pleasure. I appreciate it. And I hope you have a fantastic fall.